Hello and welcome to my home piano. What you are seeing here is not what you'd actually see if you looked at a normal piano. We have gone through the trouble of taking apart the framework so I can give all of you a little bit of a behind the scenes look at how this glorious instrument makes the wonderful sound that it does. Now, what we have here are 88 keys, and each of these keys is attached to one of these little wooden hammers. So when I press down on a key, you can see that the hammer moves, right? And the way we get sound is when this hammer comes in contact with the string, like so. The way that I press down on the key determines the loudness of the sound that is produced. If I press on the key softly, you get a quieter sound, whereas if I press down on the key with more force, you get a much louder sound. So the great thing about this instrument and just music in general is that it's rooted in science. Now, what I mean by that is that when this hammer hits the string, these strings vibrate really fast, so fast that you can't even see them move. But trust me, they're vibrating. And the speed at which these strings vibrate is called their frequency. And that's just a very sciencey way of saying the speed of vibration. Now on this piano, you've got a whole lot of strings and they each look different, right? If you take a look at this end, you've got strings that are much thinner. And these thin strings, when they're hit by a hammer, produce a much higher frequency and a much higher pitch. Now, if we look over to the other end of the piano, you can tell that the strings are getting a whole lot thicker. Now, when a hammer comes in contact with these strings, the sound that's produced is much lower because the strings are vibrating at a lower frequency. They're vibrating slower. So now I'm going to, as a little bit of a demonstration, give you a snippet from Bach's Prelude No. 2 in C minor. And as I'm playing that, pay attention to how these hammers are interacting with these strings and how that affects the sound that is produced. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you all learned something, and I will catch you on the rest of this episode.